From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, this morning's update is sponsored by Daniels Roofing. 3 generations of roofing expertise working hard to protect your home and business. Licensed, bonded, insured. Visit their website or call Daniel today to schedule your free estimate. Area code 530-736-0952 and tell them Mike Kruger sent you. I want to thank Daniels Roofing for being our latest sponsor here at Weather NorCal. Look at these beautiful images that we have here. This is coming in from Krista. And you know, typically I usually just show one picture, but there were so many beautiful sunset pictures sent in by you. I want to help encourage that, right? So show as many as I can here. There you can see this is out in the Reading area. Also in the Reading area, sent to us by David Hoffman, which by the way, he's a certified weather watcher. Just discovered that. David, thank you so much for sending in this image here. Just a beautiful shot. Taking a look at southwest Trinity County, sent to us by Rowdy Kelly. And there you can see that beautiful, we live in such a beautiful area. It really is, right? And there you can see those clouds just kind of wisping on through here. Now, I want to point out, look at this. We're beginning to see more and more of those dry fuels, it looks like, in parts of Trinity County. By the way, if you want to share your sunset, sunrise, pet photos, eating watermelon to stay cool, getting in the pool, whatever it is you want to share, we love to see your photos here at Weather NorCal. Just go to the free Weather NorCal app, download it for free. Search for Weather NorCal in your app store, download the app for free, and from there you can share your photos. All right, so the downward trend in our temperatures, that continues today and into tomorrow. But the temperatures, for the most part, they're going down, then back up again, then back down, then back up. We got a bit of a mini roller coaster ride, if you will, with those temperatures. Fire danger is expected to be high, especially in Modoc County and the eastern mountains. We'll take a closer look at that here in a second. And remember that heat wave? I was talking about the potential of a heat wave early this week and late last week. Forecast models had backed down on that the last several days, but now I'm beginning to see signs that that could happen. And unfortunately, just in time for your 4th of July celebrations. Here's a look at your neighborhood forecast. 6 neighborhoods exclusively here at Weather NorCal. And of course, you can go to weathernorcal.com to get more details and a more specific forecast for your neighborhood. But there you can see it is at a glance. 80s for the mountains, mid to upper 90s for the valley. Want to show you the fire tracker here. And before we do that, let's take you to the Watch Duty app. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to zoom it out here just so you can get a better perspective of where the fire is. So you can see the fire is this, of course, the Apache fire that we are looking at. I'm going to take this out so we can kind of get the less clutter out there. So, of course, we've got Oroville situated right here, and, of course, the Apache fire right here, all right? So that is the fire that is of the biggest concern. So let's click on that fire and get some statistics on it. The latest coming in is this at 691 acres as of about 6 o'clock this morning. 40% containment, but still an active fire. Now, all of the orders, the evacuation orders, have all been lifted. So let's take a look at where the evacuation warnings are. And I know a lot of people get frustrated with the fact that, you know, you're looking at zones and not roads. So the very southern end, and I can't really see it too clearly. I'm going to have to go back closer look at my computer screen here. This is Butte Vista Road is the southern end of where that evacuation warning is. Then we take you up north, and the very north end is Lower Wyandotte Road. So that is where you have the evacuation warnings. As mentioned, yes, we're looking at some really positive aspects when it comes to this fire because number one, what we're looking at here is the satellites detecting any kind of heat signatures coming in from the fires. And what we see here is basically that darker yellow. That's about 24 hours old, meaning without the red on the map, that tells us there hasn't been any recent activity, although you can still see it from the satellites here with that hotspot coming in from the Apache fire. Now, there is still some fire danger we need to tell you about, and that's the red flag warning for Modoc County and eastern Lassen County, basically for this afternoon and into this evening. Wind and humidity is the main concern. Now, coming in here is also seeing all these oranges for today. That is the high fire danger due to the gusty winds. So let's talk about the winds. They're picking up by noon, coming in from the west-southwest for the eastern mountains. Not that bad in the valley just yet, but later this afternoon and evening, the valley's seeing some gusty winds, 20 and even over 30 miles per hour, and of course the gusty winds off to the east. And notice some of those mountain ridges, we are seeing some stronger winds there as well. That is going to be an area of concern. Now the winds do die down on Thursday, but still a bit breezy even for the valley here. Now, the humidity is going to be quite low going into today, anywhere from about 10 to 20% on average. That is low, that is dry. It looks like it may even be drier going into your Thursday, but again, the good news is the winds won't be quite as strong. So we have your typical moderate to high fire danger in the valley, and we got even some of that moderate to high fire danger in the eastern mountains. But the good news is, as the winds die down, temperatures begin to drop. In fact, Thursday is the peak of the cooling trend. That will be a contributing factor to reducing our fire weather risk for Thursday. Even for the valley, we're mainly in the moderate range and then the low range here off into the eastern mountains. All right, so here's what happened yesterday. You saw the area of high pressure to our east. There was also monsoon moisture that wrapped around that area of high pressure, and it helped to bring us the clouds. And that actually had an impact on our temperatures. It dropped a little bit in some areas. There were some light showers, reports of some heavy rainfall in some areas as well, but for the most part, just some scattered sprinkles and light showers. Most of the lightning strikes were over Nevada yesterday, and not to mention the southern Sierra as well. We saw a couple of lightning strikes here in Northern California, but for the most part, it was off to our east. That's moving out because the area of high pressure and the heat associated with it is also pushing down to the south and east. As I mentioned, Thursday is the peak of the cooling trend as that colder air rides to our north. Now going into the weekend, we've got another pocket of cold air moving in. However, the heat to our west and the heat to our east, those are both building in our direction, and that's going to give us an increase in our temperatures over the weekend. That cooler air keeps it at bay, but not for long. Now you may remember I was talking about a heat wave late last week, early this week, then the forecast models backed off on it. I'm beginning to see the return of this bubble of heat right here, pushing eastward toward the middle and latter part of next week, unfortunately just in time for the 4th of July. That could be approaching a ridge of high pressure of this strength, especially this time of the year, could approach 110 degrees. We'll see. As of right now, I don't have that in the forecast, but it's getting close. Above normal temperatures are expected in the long range, drier than normal conditions as well. That's no big surprise, no big changes there. The wave heights are going to be fairly low today, so that's good if you do need to be on that small boat. They increase a little bit going into your Thursday, but nothing to be terribly concerned about. So really the main concern if you're heading out to go fishing or just boating in general, do note that there is going to be some patchy, dense fog out there. Just need to be aware of. Temperatures today in Trinity County, looking at mainly in the 80s for those daytime highs. For the north coast, we've got temperatures mainly along the coast in the low 60s for the next 7 days. You'll notice the trend for the next 7 days, minus the coast, of course, going down, then up, down, then back up again, especially as we get into around Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. 87 Wairika today, 80 in Tennant, Doris about 80 degrees in Happy Camp, topping out at 85. And for Modoc County, you can see about 85 for Fort Bidwell, 82 for Tule Lake, and California Pines about 84. Let's take you off into the eastern mountains. The temperatures there, mid to upper 80s, 89 for Susanville, 87 degrees in Janesville. And your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by NorCal Tractor. We've got those temperatures in the mid 90s, give or take. North end of the valley a bit warmer with about 97 for Redding, 92 for Whiskeytown, and 93 in Lakehead. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Again, those temperatures going down, then up, then down, and then back up again as we go into Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Everywhere I go, I'm riding with pride. I'm riding on my go-go. Watch me glide. Everywhere I go, I'm getting around. I'm riding on my go-go. All over town, I'm riding in style and feeling so right. It's easy to take and it's all so light. Everywhere I go, I'm riding on my go-go.
Everything Medical, your mobility experts.